Welcome to another episode of Truth Be Cold. In this episode, I want to just share my thoughts with you about where I feel we're at as a nation, as a society, and as a people, really, with regards to the next up and coming federal election that's set to be held on April 28th. I believe Canadians are some of the most intelligent people that exist on this planet. There's a number of inventions that we've had. There's a number of cultural things that we've created, a lot of intellectual property that we start because we have some of the brightest academics. But at the end of the day, there's something severely wrong in Canada. And it's the current mentality that I notice many of us have, which is being laissez-faire with regards to who we decide to represent us in the highest level within our parliament. The elected officials are really important because they ultimately will decide our competitiveness as a nation, our productivity as a nation, and ultimately the wealth that we're able to generate and distribute within this nation. If there's anything that we learned in the last 10 years under the tyrant Justin Trudeau, is that both he and his cronies that worked under him in his cabinet had no idea how to initiate policies that could ultimately help bring wealth into Canada. The only ideas they had were ideas that caused rapid inflation and taxation. In Canada, Canadians are literally paying more on taxes than their basic necessities. We're paying 50 to 54% tax when you add it all up together. And it just begs the question. Canadians right now are in an uproar. They're mad that Donald Trump decided to put 25% tariffs on all vehicles that are not created in the United States. And there's other tariffs that he's put on Canada recently as well. But where was this outrage when Justin Trudeau slowly, incrementally, every year he was in power, increased our tax rate to the point where even if you're making six figures in this country, the line between middle class and poverty is blurred. Where were Canadians when the government decided to freeze peaceful protesters' bank accounts? When truckers had a freedom convoy and had a dispute with the federal government on its handling of COVID-19 and the truck driver's livelihood? Where were Canadians when the long rap sheet of scams were starting to emerge about Justin Trudeau and his party, such as the ArriveCan scam? Canadians were nowhere to be seen. So really, I'm upset more about that type of energy that Canadians have. That for some reason, we want to project our unhappiness and our rage onto Donald Trump or onto the Americans, for example, during a hockey or a basketball game where we boo their national anthem. But we don't have the strength to march to Parliament and demand for our rights and freedoms to be respected by the elected officials who serve us. Canadians need to be informed. Canadians need to get out to vote. And it doesn't make sense to go and vote for someone who's systematically broke your country down. And what do I mean by that? Under 10 years of liberal leadership, housing has gone up to such an extent that it's nearly impossible for someone who's making $100,000 to afford. Immigration has reached such a high level that the identity of Canada is now in question. We have the issue of taxation, which I mentioned before. No nation truly gets wealthy from taxation alone. Wealth is developed in a capitalistic society by innovators. And you need policies that are able to help innovators innovate, create new industries, create new products. That ultimately then will transfer itself into the marketplace within that nation state that allows it to become more competitive. And when you get more competitors involved, prices of goods and prices of services comes down, which ultimately helps consumers like you and me. We don't have that in Canada because the Liberals are socialists. The Liberals arguably are communist. They believe in big government. They believe government should have overreach over every aspect of your life. Don't believe me, listen to what Mark Carney said about homes and how he wants the federal government to be in charge of building homes.
Wide housing crisis, the Liberals have unveiled their plan to fix it.
We are going to build our way out of it.
Mark Carney's policy would make Ottawa directly involved in building homes. He'd create a new federal body that would act like a developer. It would place bulk orders on pre-built and modular housing and hand out $25 billion in loans to get new projects off the ground.
What happened to the idea of developers and entrepreneurs and other people who have construction backgrounds starting businesses in order to resolve the housing crisis? Why is the government, why is crown corporations getting involved in housing? And furthermore, why is Mark Carney, who's not even a member of parliament, who's been outside of the country for 20 plus years, who's been an international banker for England, why is this person representing us? Why is he an option? Why was he an option for the Liberal Party? And why the hell is the Liberals doing so well in the polls, considering all the terrible things that they've done in the last 10 years? Because I can't just put all the blame on Justin Trudeau, as much as I don't particularly like that former prime minister. He had a cabinet of people who gave him instructions. Carbon tax Carney was one of his economic advisors, by the way. You know what I think? You know what the cold hard truth is? The cold hard truth is this: Canadians like to be abused. We like to be slapped around. We like to be lied to. We like to be gaslit. And until we get that internal fire to push back against those who are abusing us, the abuse will continue. It's not going to stop. And as unfortunate as that is, I don't see ourselves getting out of this situation until there's enough people who say no, no more. It is absolutely necessary for Canadians in a resounding number to not vote for the Liberals. And I'll tell you why it's so important. The Liberals must learn a lesson from this election. You should not be able to destroy something and then get a promotion. Mark Carney, by the way, according to some current leaders of UK, claim that his carbon neutral policies that he initiated were actually destructive to the UK economy. And we've been encouraged by them to not vote for Mark Carney.
I think it is extraordinary that Mark Carney has become the Prime Minister of Canada. He did a terrible job in Britain of the governorship of the Bank of England. He created a lot of the problems that blew up on my watch and that I got blamed for were actually created by him. He backed Labour in the election and Rachel Reeves's policies, which are leading the country to bankruptcy. So why on earth the Liberal Party of Canada has selected this man, I have no idea. And I think it is illegitimate that this guy has never been elected as a member of Parliament in Canada.
So all of this talk that Liberals have about how they believe Mark Carney is the right guy because he's an economist. He was the economic advisor to Justin Trudeau for the last 10 years. He was the international banker who drove England into a recession. How is he the answer? This is insane. Canadians need to make a choice. And the choice is very clear. There's two options. One option is to keep things the way they are with the Liberals who've systematically destroyed our nation and stripped our freedoms away. Or we can go down a different path with a new leader who can give us an opportunity and a chance to rejuvenate our strength, to fight, to change the prospect of our society and of our great nation. It's heavy, I know, but it's necessary. All of us need to get informed. All of us need to go out and vote. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for sticking around and partaking in thought sharing of my ideas, opinions, and beliefs on the topic at hand. I just want to say I appreciate everybody who's partaking on this journey with me. And if you liked the video, if you found value in it, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Also, if you felt as though you had different opinions or you had a different idea on where the video should go, or if you have any suggestions on other topics that you want to hear, please go ahead and comment in the comment section as well. At the end of the day, I value everybody's opinion, and I would love to banter with every one of y'all in the comment section. Thank you so much, and bye for now.